Thank you, Ryan. What a beautiful message, a beautiful reminder. This week, I was actually, what inspired our message today was a T-shirt that I saw. Maybe you see these bumper stickers or shirts, and they have this wonderful message. And I saw this shirt and this cap that really caused me to ponder the message. And it said, "The sweet life." The sweet life, S-W-E-E-T. I'm like, well, I can get with that. Let me give it some thought. And as I considered it, I'm like, well, maybe there's a message in it. The secret to living the sweet life. And I know that probably each one of you have the secret already. Is that correct? You have the secret to the sweet life, right? How many of you consider yourself to be living the good life? The life of possibilities, the life of greatness, the life of goodness. I pray that over the next few minutes we will enter the life of sweetness as well, the sweet life. In fact, it is Unity's aim, the message of Unity, the principles, everything that we teach and share in Unity is to help us to live to live better lives, to live sweeter life. And as we consider this idea, the secret to living the sweet life, we're reminded that, there are many truths in the universe. We know the truth is that there is no separation. Is that a truth? Yes. A truth that we are all connected. Wouldn't you agree? What about we are all one? Is that a truth? We sing it every Sunday. We are all one. The ultimate truth, my friends, is that we are one with the consciousness of God, the consciousness of good, and from this oneness, we are able to create and co-create our reality. That is a sweet message. As we consider this idea of sweet, and I know that we all have our understanding of what a sweet life is, and what living the sweet life is like, or what it should be. I shared that I had a few conversations, and I've been talking even since this morning. I've been asking the questions about what's the sweet life for you? What's living the sweet life? What is the sweet life like? What does it look like? How does it feel? How does it show up? And I heard one individual earlier say the sweet life is like just sharing time with my daughter and family and friends. Then another one said it's being retired and having plenty of money in my bank account. That's a sweet life. Another volunteer says the sweet life is being retired and able to do what I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it, or don't do it at all if I don't want to do it. That's pretty sweet, wouldn't you agree? Someone said sweet life is being my own boss. I set my own schedule. I determine my income. I determine when I go out and when I come in. I can make that decision and I don't have to report to anyone. Anyone living the sweet life? Oh, we're working on it, right? Another person said from last night, I was having this conversation. One young lady says that she's 26. She says the sweet life for her is just having good people around that she can trust, that she can depend on. And when she leaves the good people, she can go home to her pets. 10 mice and 1 dog. I'm like, okay, that's sweet, I guess. Or like the young lady who moved here 2 years ago and said the sweet life is being able to come here to this new space and place and find a community of loving people and to experience the aloha and to know that I'm all right, I'm well, regardless to what shows up in life. It's all is well. It's the sweet life. Or like the lady who said that the sweet life for her is being able to call her mother, who's 94 years of age, and her mother is still answering the phone, saying, "Hello, my love." That's the sweet life. We all have our understanding of what the sweet life is and what it should be. Today we are called to not only live and express the sweet life, but to be the sweetener of life, to help make the world a little sweeter, a little better. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who probably feel and think that the world needs a little sweetener. Our society could use some sweetener, wouldn't you agree? To sweeten things up. And as we consider the secrets to living the sweet life, friends, and I know there's various schools of thoughts, theologies, philosophies as to the method, the road, the theory, the way that will lead us to this life of sweetness. I would dare say that the secret is the coming into the ultimate realization of who and what we are, our true identity. And when I speak of our true identity, it's just like the therapist who asks the question of her client, "Who are you?" And the client responds by stating her name. The therapist asks again, "Who are you?" The client responds again by stating her name and then her pedigree and then her family background and her, she's married or she has children. The therapist asks again, "Who are you?" That third question called the patient to a level of reflection that transcends what shows up in the outer, and then was told, if you can answer this question, then you will find and experience the sweetness of life. Friends, we are being asked the question today, who are you? Who am I? Just as Socrates, the great teacher who was teaching the idea of self-inquiry to the youth of Athens, was walking one day pondering the same idea, who am I? Looking for a different level of expression, pondering, pontificating, contemplating this question, and in his deep, focused thought of just considering the idea, who am I? He's walking and he bumps into this officer. The officer is just totally about to have a fit and says, "Man, what are you doing? Pay attention. Who are you?" And Socrates says, "That's exactly what I'm trying to figure out. Can you help me out? Who are you? Who am I?" Friends, this question calls us to a level of exploration, and we're told in sacred texts that when you ask, you will receive, and when you knock, the door will be open, and if we seek, we will find. A part of living this life of sweetness that transcends, and I do believe that there are sweet things that we can experience outside of ourselves, but the ultimate sweetness comes from that happens on the inside, when we come into the realization that I am one with the source. And from that idea of oneness, we're able to bring that into manifestations into every aspect of our life, world, and affairs. Living the sweet life. The secret is the honey. I think next time we'll have a better bottle of honey. And we have plenty to share. It's enough sweetener to go around. The sweetener, the secret, is the honey of life. It gives it the flavor. You know flavor. You've had food when there was no flavor. Just like you go to some of these restaurants, and just because you're a vegetarian, they want to give you these bland vegetables, mixed vegetables, no seasoning, no nothing on it. It's good. But there are times you want a little flavor, right? Some seasoning. The sweetener of life. The idea, the secret is the sweetener, the honey, or the pure cane washed raw sugar that makes life interesting, intriguing, exciting, an adventure. It moves us and it helps to bring balance and harmony, because there's enough bitterness in life. I know it. We all have it. We all shed tears. We all go through experiences. We all pain every now and then. We all experience the rain in life. I'm sure I'm not the only one in here that's had those experiences. We have all experienced the bitterness of life. But even in the midst of life's bitterness, there is a way to bring forth into expression the sweetener, the sweetness. To go even through the most difficult physical challenge. And I know some of you sitting right in here, you are miracles walking. You are miracles happening right now. To go through some of life's most bitter experiences, but able to find something that keeps you smiling, that keeps you encouraged, that keeps you uplifted, that keeps you inspired, that keeps you hopeful. That's the sweetener. The ultimate realization is our oneness with the consciousness of God. And it stated differently. You know, the ancient Egyptian mystery schools taught to know thyself, to know oneself is the ultimate gift. It is the ultimate key to a life of sweetness, of goodness, of greatness. Ernest Holmes is noted for saying in his writings, the Beverly Hills Lectures, there is something within us that cannot be satisfied until it finds an abiding place in the only security there is, the cosmos itself, God. That is in finding that space and place within ourselves that we find the security, we find what we are looking for. Hinduism teaches that He is the one God hidden in all beings, all pervading, the self within all beings, watching over all worlds, dwelling in all beings, the witness, the perceiver. Then we hear as the center of the native Hawaiian cosmology, the three-part unity of nature, of man, and of deity. For any one of these three to be healthy, prosperous, or sweet, each must be in proper relationship with the other. That we must be in harmony with all. That in harmony with all, we experience this constant flow of sweetness in life. And I know I'm preaching to the choir. I know that. I know that you already got this. So why are we talking about it? Well, as I said, the world needs some sweetener. Our society needs sweetener. You see, it's in separation. There is a process to the stages of divinity. There's a process taught by the master teacher, Jesus, who says the first stage was that of a messenger. I'm called to bring good news, to share good news to those who are in need of it. We are called, we go forth as the messengers. We carry the message, the good news of unity. Oh, you can have what you want to have, do what you want to do, be what you want to be, using the principles, the power of God in you. The second stage of divinity is coming into an even more intimate relationship, and he called it being the Son of God. We called it being the child of God, right? Or the magnificent expression of God. There's a relationship, but even in that, there's a sense of separation. The ultimate stage of divinity that anchors this life of sweetness, the third stage is when he says, I and my Abba, we are one. It is the consciousness of total oneness with God. There is no separation. Friends, in separation, we create out of that space and place. We create chaos and discomfort and all of this stuff that looks not and tastes not so sweet in life, the bitterness of life. But when we come into the space and place of oneness, take a breath right where you are. Take a breath, come on. This is one of the greatest ways of coming into oneness. Coming to the breath, the ha. Being mindful of the breath. Now, take that breath again. What else do you need? You have the breath. You have it. And it's everything right now. Right now, it's without it, what can we do? Nothing. And none of the things that we have or may not have in life, it wouldn't even matter if we don't have the breath, right? The breath, the awareness that God is always being and expressing in us, through us, and as us. This is the ultimate sweetener of life. So I want to challenge you this week to not only manifest and bring forth the sweetener in your life, let's be the sweetener in our world this week. You become the mango. You add the vanilla. You add the mocha chocolate. You add the caramel. You add the honey. You add the agave. You add, come on, what else? Pineapple. You add whatever. Cinnamon. All right, you add it in the world. And from our consciousness that we can make things better. We can sweeten things up by coming into oneness with each other and allowing that to be a demonstration and an example of who and what we all should be all over the world, then when we hear of things happening in different parts of our society, we can hold the consciousness of oneness and let that sweetener pervade and prevail. And we'll begin to see that things will change. Friends, I would dare say this is the secret. Let's use it. Use the key to unlock the sweetener in your life. God bless you. Peace and blessings. Thank you.